I would like to talk to you guys today about a battle that is taking place between two of the greatest minds in American culture.
It's not AD and House Phone.
LeBron James and Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse has said that he used to be a fan of LeBron James, but after the Lakers star's shade during his trial, he feels differently. I liked LeBron, the Kenosha shooter, said Monday on the Blaze TV. The Kenosha shooter on the Blaze TV's You Are Here show. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, LeBron. If you missed it, LeBron mocked Rittenhouse after the 18-year-old gave an emotional testimony on the stand during his homicide trial last month. He was eventually acquitted. We haven't heard anything from LeBron James about that. To me, it's pretty obvious that Kyle Rittenhouse was innocent and that the right decision was handed down in this case. And I am just going to side on the side of Kyle Rittenhouse and say LeBron is a dickhead for what he said. And he owes Kyle Rittenhouse an apology.
Why would he owe that nigga an apology?
Because he made fun of him. He's a 17-year-old kid who killed two people.
No.
Because they were attacking him.
I think LeBron felt like how everybody else felt, that some black people got killed.
What the fuck does that have to do with his personal experience? That he killed two people that were trying to attack him, and then he's basically turned into the biggest fucking celebrity in America because he's on trial for it.
Adam Rittenhouse.
You're not confronting the actual issue here. You know, we've talked about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing at length, and you agree with me it was self-defense.
No, when you told me, listen.
That you agree
yes, I
self-defense.
did.
Yes.
Once I got the facts, I said
LeBron's a piece of shit for saying that.
LeBron's not a piece of shit.
Once I got the facts of the whole situation,
once I got the facts, I said,
I didn't know.
Okay, it makes sense. But like you said the media made it seem like I really thought this was black and white type shit.
The media lied to you.
Well,
you thought
the media lies to you all the time.
But I didn't lie about it. That's a good point, but I didn't lie about it.
You are the media.
No, but
the mainstream media.
Nobody told me other than you what really happened.
That's a fact.
So, because Adam 22 is the only person you can trust to give you the real spit.
Literally. Hey, listen, I didn't know about the details.
I thought he killed two black people, and they're like, he killed two white people.
Everybody thought he killed two black people that for no reason. They were running at him with guns.
Why don't white crime is different? You feel me?
Hey, listen, Rittenhouse, I might not agree with his politics. He's a Trump guy, whatever. He's super pro law enforcement. I don't give a fuck about that.
He said he fucks with Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
Hey, listen.
And they hate it so much that he is not the conservative fucking caricature that they want him to be.
I ain't got no problem with the kid.
Free Rittenhouse.
I ain't got no problem with the kid. If somebody says fuck you, if you are really defending yourself,
yeah,
you feel me? Then you can say fuck you back. I respect that. But
when I see that case, I saw what he went through. He did not go there to kill anybody. Yes, he's a fucking dumbass for going there with these guns, whatever.
Josh thinks different.
Josh is a fucking cuck liberal piece of shit, social justice warrior, and he has to say that or his wife's gonna ground him. But anyway,
your sister.
But
your sister.
Point. But I know how she is. But all I'm saying,
he probably knows how she is better than everybody.
Is it really, LeBron? Is it really that hard for you to believe?
You can't call him a dickhead though.
He is a dickhead
for not knowing the facts.
If he apologizes, he won't be a dickhead anymore. You know what? He's tweeting to like 50 million people, and he's completely wrong about the situation.
You do it all the time.
No, I don't.
You be tweeting bullshit sometimes.
I take my position very seriously, and I do my best to tell the truth. And he's blatantly out here spreading bullshit.
All I'm saying is this, bro. If the media made it seem like that, I seen so many black people get mad about this situation and not knowing the facts. I included. Until you told me he shot two white people. And I was like, oh. Wow. And then you told me the facts.
The important part isn't that he shot two white people. The important part is that he shot two people in self-defense that were attacking him.
Yeah.
But if
he actually shot three people, only two of them died.
But if they were black, in the media, it would have been a different story.
If it had been the exact same situation where he had been having black people with guns run up on him and he shot them, I would hope that he would get the same verdict, because who the fuck cares what race they are if they're attacking you with guns? Which is what happened in this situation.
I still don't know all the full facts, but if I'm listening to what you said. If you said people were throwing shit at them and they shot first, then that's self-defense.
Listen,
if
you were in this situation, and I understand that you would not put yourself in this situation, but if you were in this situation, you would want to beat this bodies on self-defense because it was self-defense.
The only problem is, and I know a lot of people are mad at,
and the correct verdict was
if he was a black boy who did that, I don't think he would have got the same verdict.
Hell no.
The way the justice system is.
Maybe not, but we can look
That's why people are outraged.
During almost the exact same time period that the Kyle Rittenhouse trial took place, we saw the situation with Ahmaud Arbery go down, in which three white men ran down on a black jogger and killed him in a situation where the the citizens arrest laws in Georgia are actually very beneficial to people in this situation, but they still were found guilty and are going to probably spend fucking 20 years or whatever in prison.
What?
Fuck them.
So that's a situation in which a black man, an innocent black man, was gunned down by 3 gun-toting lunatics, white guys, and they were correctly found to be guilty. So I'm just saying, like, yes, it's kind of convenient to say, like, oh, if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, then it wouldn't have been the same. But look at this situation right here. I mean, everybody wants to ignore when the right verdict was handed down. And actually, both of those cases, the right verdict was handed down. Let's just be obvious. Anyway, LeBron owes him an apology, and I'm going to stand on it. And also, Joe Biden owes him an apology. Shit. He don't owe me an apology. He owes him. He lied about him in front of fucking 50 million followers. The next time you go to a Laker game,
they going to take your ass out. They going to eject your ass.
And LeBron's a Chinese dick sucker, too, because he
you can't. Ain't no LeBron slander, bro.
LeBron is the biggest fucking coward
Space Jam
in the
Fuck
game.
You.
When it comes to China, LeBron is the biggest fucking coward you can imagine. Because he refuses to say anything about the injustices happening in China with the Uyghurs.
Who's the Uyghurs?
The Uyghur Muslims that are being tortured. It's basically the greatest human atrocity since the Holocaust, and LeBron has nothing to say about it. He actually
why do y'all want LeBron James to be
because he's a fucking hypocrite and a liar.
How?
But why do they want him?
Because he acts like he's this person who cares so much about injustice and human rights. He won't say.
So he misses one thing. He's
the biggest thing going right now.
I don't hear about it.
Nobody in the NBA is allowed to say shit about China. They all claim that they care so much about human rights. They're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Because if LeBron did say something about China, they're gonna remove every fucking game that he's in from the networks in China, and the NBA won't have it, so he won't say anything. He's a fucking pussy when it comes to
Donald
that.
Sterling then.
That has nothing to do with that. Well, you need to have serious conversations. Stop trying to be funny when we're talking about some serious shit.
I don't even know what we're talking about. You said Uyghurs.
That's a good point. Uyghurs.
Look
up the Uyghur Muslims. And I understand it might be hard because you're going to probably find stuff about Uyghur Muslims first, but then you're going to have to figure out the Uyghur Muslims. It's much more serious.
Hey, enlighten me so we know. Since you're the fact man, because I don't know nothing about
it. In China, the government is super anti-religion, and there's a strain of Muslims in China, and the government in China does not want anyone to have any kind of religious beliefs because they consider it a threat to the government. So they take all of these Muslims and they cart them off to these fucking basically internment camps where they fucking beat them, torture them, and try to like basically force them to turn on their religion. And it's one of the biggest human rights atrocities. I encourage everybody out there to learn about it. But basically, everybody in the NBA is a huge fucking coward. What's the dude who said the thing about it and they made him retract his statement?
Wait. How does this happen?
Because they make so much money in China and American all these companies put out statements.
The owners of the NBA are white. They're not black.
What does that have to do with anything? I will never know. But what I'm saying is that the NBA, all these teams, they all act like they care about human rights. They all act like they care so much about Black Lives Matter or whatever. They're in cahoots with the Chinese government and the Chinese government because China is their biggest market besides the U.S. They make so much money there, and they won't allow anyone involved in the NBA to say a thing about it. What's the dude's name? Penis Cantor. I don't know. He said something about how what was it about how Hong Kong should be its own state or whatever, and he had to retract his statement. It was like fucking World War III. Wow. I encourage you guys to learn more about this because honestly, everybody in the NBA is a fucking hypocrite.
The NBA owners are white, so those are your people telling the other players they can't do it.
That's like the dumbest possible way that you could think about the conversation that we're having. If you wanted to prove to me that you're not listening or thinking about this topic, you just proved it.
No, if you're mad at NBA players for not speaking up, if they're not speaking up, if they're by contract by white people telling them that they can't say something.
Okay, so not every NBA team is owned by a white person, and you know, like that's kind of like, don't you think that's kind of? They're all people.
Name a black one.
I don't know anything about anyone who owns anything.
There's no black NBA owners.
All I'm saying is that the race of the people, like I'm calling them all out for being hypocrites. It doesn't matter if they're black or white. Who the fuck cares?
No,
it has nothing to do with their race.
You can't sit there and say something that the player is
saying it about the top execs the same way I'm saying it.
So talk about the NBA as
all
a whole.
Of them.
Don't say LeBron's a dickhead for not speaking up on something. You're singling him out.
LeBron is one of the biggest
voice
boxes.
No, you're singling him out
because he's the biggest face of acting like you give a shit about human rights.
He dissed Kyle Rittenhouse and you're mad now.
Well, that I'm just pointing out how he's a hypocrite about all kinds of shit.
You dissed Kyle Rittenhouse and you mad now.
No.
Because you can say everybody in the NBA. Don't just single out LeBron.
When it comes to the Rittenhouse thing, he's not actually being a hypocrite. He's just being a fucking moron and an idiot and a liar. But when it comes to China, he's a hypocrite.
Ain't nobody spoke up on shit since Kaepernick then got kicked the fuck out. Niggas ain't trying to lose their jobs, so niggas is shutting the fuck up and not being political and doing what they got to do.
But LeBron will say all kinds of shit about how much racism there is in America. But he won't say anything about the fact that his biggest market, the Chinese government, that
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that until you said that.
He says such good things about China.
But it's not his
acts
market,
like China
though.
is a shining example of a great country to live in. They're
He don't
putting
live there. Why
Muslims
does
in an internment
That's terrible.
camps
That is
and
terrible.
torturing them.
That is terrible.
That is crazy.
But you can't say that's his market. He doesn't own the NBA.
He
not.
speaks on behalf of China. If you
He
were to
speaks on part of black
if
people,
you were
bro.
to listen to
People
his
that-
public statements, you would think that there was nothing wrong with China.
He speaks on injustice in his people, bro. You can't expect this one guy to sit there and talk about everything. Because if we want to break it down, that's
This
not the
one
only
guy who claims that he cares so much about human rights, but has nothing to say about the mass internment camps of these Muslims.
How many people and how much injustice are going around the world that are happening right now that people are not speaking about?
The NBA China thing is unique to them because the NBA is fucking massive in China, and there's every single person in the NBA who has ever said anything about China, they basically muzzled them and forced them to retract their statements.
Is this facts?
Yes, this is common sense. Everyone knows about this. Anyway, let's get off this topic because I feel like it's kind of pointless for me to keep repeating myself when you don't know that much about it. But I encourage you.
You don't know about NBA.
You just thought I was talking about the Uyghur Muslims.
You said that at first. I just
did say that.
And it's not spelled in any way the way you would think it was.
But I'm just saying,
and I don't know how to spell it.
That caught me off guard because I said it's the first shit that you said. But that is terrible, though. That's super terrible.
And LeBron's a hypocrite for not confronting it.
But you can't single out LeBron. Single out the whole NBA.
And I'm going to tell you more reasons why it's appropriate to blame LeBron. I'm not very knowledgeable about basketball or China, to be honest. So I'm going to come back with you with more facts that make this argument even more airtight in the near future.